right, she's going to check the sound first. All right, we're checking the sound, whoever's out there. Check. Oh. Let me know when I should start, Amy. It's okay, I think. Do you want me to speak again? Or? It's pretty warm today. Yes. Still. Yeah. I feel warm. I just want to know if there's sound. You don't have to look at me. Technology. Oh, you can hear me. Yeah. Well, greetings. Greetings. Welcome to worship at Patchwork Central. Those who are here physically, there's a few of them, and those who are checking in remotely. So hello to you. I'm Jill Heminger, and I brought my favorite piano player, my husband Bill. He's going to play for us. So we are actually, no cat today. We actually, I hope, I didn't say this to all of you, but we agreed, John and I and Amy last week, that we could do some singing if we kept our masks on, okay? So I've got some songs for us to sing. Well, I think we'll just go ahead and start. And page 34, Lord of All Hopefulness. We'll start with that. Of course, I need mine too. So this is where, okay, thanks. Well, thank you. Here, that's mine. Here, you just take. You want to sing, don't you? Ish. All right. Now, wait a minute, Bill. I've been told that you'll only hear me if I don't take this. No, don't. I want everyone to sing. Lord of all. You're on. We might as well sing all four verses. You sort of need them. And hopefully many of you who are out there know that song and could sing some of it, but I always love it because we go through the waking, our morning hours, our laboring hours, our and going home hours, and then our sleeping hours. I'm going to clip this back on and continue. So, let me put it over. Oh, now it's over here. There, it's on. Okay, I guess. So that was Lord of All Hopefulness. And actually, we're going to share our names. And if there's something you feel hopeful about, which I hope there are some things you feel hopeful about, please share that also, but you don't have to. And so I'm Jill, and I'm hopeful that we can continue singing like this, with or without our masks. Yeah. John, do you want to?
My name is John, and I'm hopeful that the vaccines continue in effectiveness and to be proven good for children and booster shots and all of that good stuff. So I'm hopeful for all of that.
Oh, am I supposed to say what people are hopeful for?
Okay. All right. Can't hear me. So.
Oh, that's true. He's hopeful that the vaccines will continue to be helpful and that maybe that the pandemic will become endemic. Is that the right word?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
Less than that.
Yeah. I'm Amy. I don't know. Trying to think of something different to be hopeful about other than, the end of the pandemic. I don't know. John and I were just in Southern Illinois, and so I don't know. This is a small thing, but hopeful for the change in season, for a beautiful change in season.
Okay. So Amy is hopeful for a beautiful change in seasons as we're beginning right now. Laura? Oh, sorry. You say your name. Say your name.
I'm Laura.
This is Laura. Okay.
Something is wrong with this thing, so I could not hear what.
Something you're hopeful about. Hopeful.
Well, I'm
You're hopeful that
hopeful that I can get some more help to hear.
Yeah,
I'm
Laura.
hopeful that the vaccines will be helping.
Okay, so Laura's hopeful that she can get a better hearing options than she's got right now, and she's hopeful that the vaccines will continue to be helpful for people. Okay.
I'm Bill, and I'm hopeful that Gail will continue to get better.
Gail. Oh, this is Bill. He's hopeful that Gail will continue to get better, which I didn't really know about. So. Can you just,
Yes.
tell me what,
Yeah. I'm Gail, and Bill's references to the back problems
Okay.
that I am having. And I spent a wonderful day with my grandchildren, and I'm hopeful that we will continue to work to make the world a better place for them and their generation.
Okay, yeah. Gail is, was referring, Gail is hopeful that we can continue, or we can make the world a better place for the grandchildren that she was just with celebrating something special, which will come up later. And Bill was hopeful that Gail's back would get better.
Not to be selfish, the whole generation that my grandkids.
The whole generation, okay. All right, is everyone hearing that? Okay.
Karen, and I guess I'm hopeful that young people will be courageous and wise in taking over leading as they are.
Ooh, okay. This is Karen saying she's hopeful that young people are wise and courageous when as it approaches their time to deal with things in the world. Yeah.
I'm Helen, and I'm hopeful that I'll get my Moderna booster tomorrow.
Ooh, okay. All right. Helen Fisher is hoping that she will really be able to get her Moderna booster shot tomorrow.
I'm Philip. I'm hopeful that the divisiveness that characterizes our country today will diminish with time.
Phil Fisher is hopeful that the divisiveness that plagues our country will get better over time.
I'm Susan, and I'm placing my hope in the youth of today also.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of places that they can do better than we've
Okay, yeah. All right, and Susan is hopeful also, like Phil, that placing her hope in the youth of today, that they can do better than many of us have done in our time. So, yes, and yeah. Yeah, that's what everybody else did right now when they spoke.
I'm Bill, and we had for brunch today 2 former students who are tremendously prolific, talented, and whatever. So I agree with Susan. I'm hopeful for them. Of course, he's hardly young people; they're 40 years old. But
Okay, so Bill,
younger than.
Bill, the piano player, is also hopeful that the people who are younger than us, not necessarily youthful, exactly middle-aged, I don't know. No, anyway, we're all hopeful. Okay, moving on. All right, now, let's see. Celebrations. Do we have any celebrations? I think we do. All right, Gail. All right, can we sing to you, Gail? All right, yeah, it's her birthday. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, okay. Well, okay. I hope you all heard this. We're going to sing to Gail. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gail. Happy birthday to you.
I would add that I take great pride in the fact that it is also the birthday of the United Nations.
Oh, right. And Gail says she also takes great pride in that it's also the birthday of the United Nations. Yes, Laura.
I don't know what she said, but I want to mention that I have volunteered for cakes for people.
Right.
And she said she wanted to bake brownies herself for it and bring it. So I was not being negligent.
All right. Do I need to tell the whole world this? Laura's explaining that she's the birthday cake giver and that Gail has something for her birthday tonight to celebrate. Yes, all right. All right, so of course I'm not good, as Karen and John and everybody else know. I don't really know how to do sermons, and it was very painful to even think about it. But the days are getting darker, and we're looking ahead to Halloween, and in the Catholic tradition, which I was raised in, there's Halloween, and then there's All Saints' Day, and there's also All Souls' Day coming up at the end of the month. So I thought I would share. I have a book that I'll read a little bit about the history of those things. Okay, so yeah, that's where I am. So here we are. It's the end of autumn. As winter darkness approaches, the souls of the dead and the spirits of kind saints are all remembered with three holidays, the ones I just mentioned. So those dates are October 31st is Halloween, November 1st is All Saints' Day, and November 2nd is All Souls' Day. But the beginnings are early November in Europe is chilly and misty. In fact, it's really spooky. Long ago at this time of year, religious people remembered the spirits. The good spirits were kept happy with food and warm fires, but the bad ones were chased away. Another religious custom was in honor of the sun. Winter could be a dark time, and in those days only lamps and firelight brightened the long nights. It seemed as if the sun would never shine again, so huge fires were lit to give the sun strength through the long winter. Then the Christian religion began about 2,000 years ago. Christians followed the teachings of Jesus Christ, but long ago many Christians still wanted to keep their old religious festivals, so the early church just added their own to the old ones. Their celebrations for the spirits of saints and the souls of the dead fit in well this time of the year. I better make sure I know what all I wanted to read. That's one thing. Okay, excuse me. Okay, 6, 7, 8, okay. So the souls of the dead. People from all over the world believe that the dead have souls that live on. Their spirits can be very powerful, perhaps especially at Halloween and All Souls. Before the Christian religion burst into northern Africa and Europe, most people believed in many gods, often with one chief god in charge. They also believed in the power of spirits, both good and bad. Halloween was a very old Anglo-Saxon and Celtic spirit festival, and it was also the beginning of the new year. This time of year was the beginning of the new year. The Celtic celebration was known as, I don't know if I can say it right, but Samhain in those days. Samhain was the Celtic lord of the dead. At the festival, each family remembered all its ancestor spirits. The family made new links with them for the year ahead to keep the souls happy. Anyway, but the celebration of Samhain was a night of turmoil too. Ghosts and demons rose from the dead and ran around making mischief. So let's see. I guess that's all I'll do there, and then page 10, page 12. Oh, here we are. 12, 13. So I was trying to really put this together just this afternoon. I was doing the radio reading service at WNIN this afternoon. Okay, so going on though, as far as the saints go, at least one Christian saint is remembered on each day of the year, and on November 1st, there is a special celebration for all saints. For many Christians, saints are like real living people. A believer can pray to a saint in times of trouble. If his or her life changes for the better, it could be because a saint helped the believer. If someone wants to talk to God, it is sometimes easier to pray to a saint first. There are lots of festivals for saints. So that's that. And what happened to my... Okay, hold on. There's this one more thing. Page 16. Here it is. So this is the one I'm most interested in, I guess, because, if I had spent some time researching, I would have liked to know exactly what a definition of a soul is, which, I guess that might be food for some other thing. We all have our thoughts about it, I think, but so All Souls Day is the one I was mostly thinking about, and we have some souls that we can be thinking of that have passed recently, actually, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, so this is the last part I'll read. Prayers for the dead. In many churches around the world, people gather to pray for the dead on All Souls Day. The Roman Catholic Church holds 3 full services or masses to give peace to their souls. In Mexico, we know this, I think, the festival is very special. It is known as Day of the Dead. Let's see. So, some people believe that the festival began, let's see, well, I skipped something, but anyway. Some people believe that the festival began with a story of a Christian man who made a holy journey all the way to Jerusalem. This was the city where Jesus Christ had died. On his return, the ship broke up in a stormy sea. The Christian was tossed onto an island. There he met a man who said he could hear the cries of dead souls. They were coming from a crack that went deep into burning rock. The Christian traveled on to the church at Cluny. There he told his story to the head monk, or abbot, who then made November 2nd a day to pray for all dead souls to give them peace. So I had never heard that one before. So anyway, that was a little bit of that. And I think before I go on to prayers, let's sing Spirit of Life on page 50. Okay. Oh, wait, sorry, Bill, hang on a minute. I just remember. So for those of you we used to sing this with the Mennonite connection, and so it's hard to see it, but there's a repeat sign down where it says, life, the shape of justice. Do you see that? Sort of. Well, the repeat sign is almost gone, but that's where we will go back up and sing again from the beginning and then finish the song. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Well, come here then. You want to say it to the whole world, or? Oh no. Oh, okay. Well,
This is such a meaningful song. But it's pretty much written in four parts, like it should be sung in four parts. And Helen Templeton did the tenor all the time, and I could just hear her voice rise to the sea.
Wait. Okay, so I was going to say that this is one that Helen Templeton, because she's not with us, really wanted to hear. So could you say it so she could hear? No. Can you say what you were saying? Okay.
I said the song is so beautiful, and it's written as if it's in four parts anyway. And when we sang it, Helen did the tenor line. And if you go to the part where blow in the wind, and there's this little tweak in the tune, and it's just beautiful, and I'll never forget that.
And that's what Helen sang. That's what Helen sang, yes. So anyway, I did ask Jean and Helen what songs she would like, and this was one that was named, and it was so exciting for me to see that it was in the book. So Helen, I think at some point you're going to be watching this, so that was for you. And I still don't have this back on. Okay. Okay. All right, so hands. So prayers. We're at a time for prayers, and of course I wanted us to be thinking about the souls of the people we've lost in the last couple of years, and particularly Darlene Blagg and Alan Winslow. And for any of you, when you're saying, I thought maybe if any of you right now wanted to say any other person, a soul that you would like to remember, we could do that now, and then after that, other kinds of prayers. So if there's, for you guys here, is there any person you want to bring up?
Walt Wangerin died recently.
Yes. Walt, how do you say it? Walt Wangerin died recently, and so Karen is lifting up his soul.
Bill's sister-in-law passed away about a month ago, Clarice Fisher.
Clarice?
She
Yeah.
was a wonderful lady, and I want to remember her.
Okay, all right. So Helen and Phil lost, Phil's sister-in-law, Clarice Fisher, passed away about a month ago, and we're praying for her soul. Yeah. Anybody?
Lift up Ruth Harshman. Ruth was the grandmother and guardian of several children in the program here, and died of COVID recently.
Oh. All right, so Ruth Harshman died recently. She was the grandmother of several participants in the program and died of COVID recently. Yeah. Oh, Gail.
My college roommate Jackie, who died of COVID last November.
Okay, so Gail's college roommate died last November of COVID also. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, friend of mine, Greg Roth, died of COVID. Greg Roth died of COVID about a month and a half ago.
Greg Roth died of COVID about a month or a month and a half ago. There's too many of these we have to remember. Oh, and it was breakthrough COVID, in case you didn't hear her say that. Yeah. Anybody else for that? Okay. So let's, okay, so the next part is, it's on my phone, but, and I'm going to have to read it to you. So you all know that Jean, I don't know if you know that Helen is in the hospital. No. Well, so let me read to you what Jean, John, I'm just going to read. Here I am reading again. And hopefully it's just going to come right up, because that's where I put it. Here it is. So Jean sent this to John and myself, and I'll try to skim a little bit, but it's a brief update on events at our house. Helen has had for weeks, if not months, pretty significant edema in her legs and feet. That and whatever might be associated with it has made it hard for her to get around and very tired. Her heart is generally in good shape, but is tachycardic, is how you say it, yeah. The tachycardia has not responded to medication, so she was admitted to Deaconess Gateway on Wednesday evening, but it was not as an emergency, okay? So they're beginning, do you say a regime, whatever, of Lasix, more Lasix and even more. And once the swelling is down and it's improving somewhat, she will probably have a VT, ventricular tachycardia ablation, perhaps on Monday. In fact, I think her update is that it is tomorrow. Did you? Yeah, okay. We certainly hope she'll be able to come home on Tuesday or certainly Wednesday, since her daughter will be arriving from Nova Scotia for a visit on Wednesday evening, which is quite fortuitous. So that's what she wrote a couple days ago, and I think it's pretty much that's the way things are going to be. 5:30 p.m. on Monday. She doesn't want visitors, maybe cards or emails until they're back home and stuff. And this is the last thing. She said her favorite song is Spirit of Life. And she gave another one, which we're singing later, which is the servant song. So even though that's not typically a closing song, that's what we'll do for Helen, the servant song. Okay, so now, if anybody has other kinds of prayers, prayers of any sort. Are you looking at your...
There's nothing, no one has lifted anything in one line.
Is anybody online?
Randy Pease and Natasha Hayes are here.
Randy Pease and Natasha Hayes, it's nice to have you with us. Okay. And I think Helen and Jean will probably, I guess they said they would watch it at a later time. So,
So on purpose, since we were talking about hope, and of course you get halfway around the circle and I think of something else. But the one that I'm thinking of is the hopefulness of the labor movement right now. There's some really strong labor movements and even some wins recently. The union that covers all of the stage and movie, crew
Right.
and tech people won some major concessions, and there are other labor sectors that are being very active. And then going back to All Souls Day, I remember, just everybody in the labor movement leading up to this.
okay.
And me personally, I remember my father singing me to sleep with Joe Hill.
No, that. Well, I don't know if you probably couldn't hear that, but he was, what John is prayers for people who are kind of starting up labor movements again, and I don't know if you want me to say all of that, but it's,
Sure.
yeah, but it just seems to be on the rise, seems to be on the rise.
Seems
Yeah.
to be
Winning some,
some victories.
which is good, yeah. Any other?
I would lift up a couple, an older couple who are living in a car right now, and they're not well, and they're very uncomfortable, and just that we can get
Okay.
something moving for them really quickly.
Susan would like us to lift up an older couple that's actually living in a car right now, and they're not well, and it's very uncomfortable. So prayers for them as they hopefully can find another option. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Anyone else then? How about if we, prayers for all those things mentioned, that were mentioned out loud, and prayers that are in our hearts. Gracious God, hear our prayer. Yeah. Now, we're going to sing another song, Healer of Our Every Ill, which I really like. So,
I think there's a setting of it in the blue hymnal if you want to have like words with the melody line.
oh, he's got, oh.
You know,
Do you want to sing all the verses? We're singing. All right, we're singing. Okay. Yes, that's a yes. Oh. And I wanted to ask all you people to put that in the pocket of put both, put that one in the pocket, yeah. Okay. And then we'll get more if there's ever a time when we need more. All right, and now, John was willing to do communion for us, so I'm going to pass this off to him, whatever he wants here. What else do you want? So you need the whole thing. And you need
Yep. Oh, yeah.
good catch. It's hard.
All right, there we go. And I guess. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way. All right. So we come together around this table, and this is also a table of remembering souls, and it is a table where there is a lineage of ancestors, spiritual ancestors, dating all the way back, of course, to Jesus and the disciples, and in some cases before that, because, of course, there were meals of faith, meals of spirit in religions around the world before that. And so we honor our ancestors tonight, and we eat this food and drink of this cup to honor those spiritual ancestors. And I will say, for my part, I was raised in a denomination, a tradition called the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. And communion is very important to us. We celebrate communion every Sunday, as we do here at Patchwork. We also practice an open table, as we do here at Patchwork. Two of the founders of my denomination, movement, whatever you want to call it, were named Thomas Campbell and Barton Stone. And they were preachers, pastors, religious leaders on the American frontier in the early 1800s. And they were living in a time of great religious division and wall building. There were lots of, we think our time is divisive. There have always been divisions in society. And at this particular time, it seemed that there were some particularly nasty divisions between different kinds of Christians and different kinds of Protestants. And so these two founders decided, not only are we going to practice communion every Sunday, but we are going to open it up to anybody. And again, remember, this is a religious environment, a religious atmosphere where you would have to be able to know and recite a creed in order to be able to receive communion, or you would have to have a token that was given to you by the leaders of your church, and you would come up to the table and you would give your token and you would receive communion. So if you were not considered worthy by those elders or leaders, then you would not be allowed at communion. And certainly if you were a Presbyterian and you happened to stumble into a Methodist church, or whatever, you were not going to be able to receive communion. So tonight, as we celebrate communion, I celebrate those spiritual ancestors of mine. And you may have other spiritual ancestors of yours that have been meaningful for you at the communion table. Thinking of Amy and the Mennonite tradition of communion that also started with Menno Simons, with the Anabaptist movement, and today is also very much committed to open communion, an open table. And here at Patchwork. And I don't know exactly what all the conversations might have been at the time that Patchwork was started, but obviously the folks here thought that it was important to have communion, to have it every Sunday, and to have it be an open table to welcome everyone. And so you may think of those folks who are perhaps some of them are your biological ancestors, but certainly your spiritual ancestors who have led you up to this moment, to this table, so that you may be fed spiritually. Because it was on the night that he was betrayed that Jesus gathered in the upper room with his friends, his disciples, and he took a loaf of bread and he gave thanks for it, and he blessed it and he broke it. And he said, "Take, eat, this is my body broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And after supper, in like manner, he took the cup and he said, "Drink of this cup, all of you, for poured out in this cup is the new covenant in my blood, shed for the forgiveness of sins. I will not drink of the fruit of the vine with you again until we drink it new in God's new earth, under God's new heaven. And so, ministering to you in the name of an all-inclusive God and an all-inclusive Jesus Christ, everyone is welcome at this table. I will tear off a piece of bread and hand it to you, and then you may take a cup. That you'll see, there's a sort of some space. There are more cups of wine and then fewer cups of the juice, so you'll be able to tell the difference. And please use the hand sanitizer on your way up here. But like I said, everyone is welcome. Come to the table. Jill, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Amy, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Laura, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Bill, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Gail, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Karen, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Helen, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life.
Thanks be to God.
Phil, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life. Susan, the bread of your ancestors and the cup of life.
That on, just ask for announcements and announce servant song for Helen, okay?
Our service is almost concluded. Before we end, are there announcements for the good of the community? Don't think so. Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's an announcement or not, but the penguin exhibit is opening at the zoo on Wednesday.
The penguin exhibit is opening at the zoo on Wednesday, so. All right. All right, so another one for Helen. We'll sing the servant song number 67 in the Patchwork Songbook.
Our service has ended. Let the people say,